Because breakup pain is so intense, it's natural to ask yourself, how can I get rid of this pain as quickly as possible? Core human emotional needs are to experience connection and pleasure, and breakup pain goes against that. Common idea many people have at this point is, let me replace my ex. I'm feeling lonely and rejected. What I need is company and reassurance. However, this strategy often backfires. Stay tuned to learn why and what to do instead. Relationships that last, that are emotionally deep, and in which you feel secure and like you can trust your partner don't happen automatically with anyone under any condition, just as long as you have someone. So if that's what you want, a deep, lasting, secure relationship, you'll need to do things to create it. The problem with trying to get rid of your emotional pain by replacing your ex as soon as possible is that it goes against your long-term goal of an emotionally intimate, deep, and secure relationship that will last. Relationships with that goal in mind start under different conditions. Added to that, this strategy can also fail in the short term and even worsen your pain, because instead of taking the time to heal and regain your emotional strength and stability, you'd be out there investing the little energy you have, perhaps burning yourself out or adding even more heartbreak if anything goes wrong with the new relationship. If you don't process your old relationship before entering a new one, it's likely that you'll choose your next partner absent-mindedly, from a place of inner torment, distracted by thoughts and feelings revolving around your ex. And if you choose absent-mindedly, it's very likely that you'll repeat old patterns that you were struggling with in previous relationships and that perhaps even led to their breakups. You'll probably repeat behavior and communication patterns from your past that haven't been helpful, that come from an insecure place, insecurity in yourself and in relationships. Also, you might be acting against your values like kindness, respect, and fairness, because it's often not fair to the new person if choosing them is about replacing an ex and not about in the new person in themselves. Making getting rid of the breakup pain your top priority is living life from a place of defense and avoidance, not proactivity and willing vulnerability. Replacing your ex quickly is an emotional avoidance and suppression strategy that detaches you from your emotions in an unhelpful and unhealthy way. It might bring some relief in the short term, but pushing your pain aside, not wanting to feel your emotions, avoiding emotions, makes your whole inner world turn numb and frozen. And if later you want to experience certain positive emotions or access empathy, that'll be difficult because you'll be so removed from your capacity to feel. Emotional suppression can also force that emotional energy to manifest in other ways, like mental or physical illness. I'll share a video explaining the cost of emotional suppression in the top right corner. In a way, wanting to get rid of your breakup pain by moving on quickly is wanting to undo the breakup. And that denies reality, which will backfire. What you'll really benefit from, even though it's harder, at least at first, is to allow reality to be what it is. You don't have to like it. But if you allow it to be what it is, you can remove the pain of struggling against it. This is often called acceptance. And then you can also learn from what happened and become better and better at working together with reality instead of against it. People often ask how long this process of reorientation, healing, and change will take after a breakup before they'll be ready to date again. I'll mention some of the timeframes I've heard, but first I want to say that I don't think this is an important piece of information. It makes it sound like it's just about waiting a certain amount of time. But if you were really to just wait, you could spend a whole lifetime waiting and never get to the point of being ready for the kind of relationship you want and need. It's not about waiting, it's about healing, processing, reflecting, learning, growing, and acquiring new relationship skills. And how long that takes depends on your individual story. I've heard time frame recommendations like 6 months, 1 year, or 1 month for every year you were together with your ex. But like I said, I don't think it's helpful to hyper-focus on the amount of time. It's not about just getting through it and just waiting for a certain amount of time to be over. It's about using this time to grow. Next, let's get into what you can use this time for so that when you do start dating again, it'll be the start of the kind of relationship you want. I'll share my thoughts in the form of goals you can focus on. Number 1, closure. One of the first steps is to create closure for yourself. And I intentionally use the word create and not get, because in my observation, people don't usually get closure from their ex, but they create it for themselves. Closure comes from gaining clarity and finding a helpful narrative about what happened in the relationship and breakup. You might have individual memories and thoughts floating around in your inner world. Collect them and combine them into a collage that makes sense to you and is helpful. Some people also find it relieving to write a last letter to their ex, expressing all of their thoughts and feelings, and you don't have to send it to get the benefit of the exercise. Number 2, emotional stability. Relationships add a lot of value to our lives. At the same time, it also takes emotional energy, attention, and presence to start and nurture a secure relationship. You need to be emotionally available for a new relationship, and for that, you need emotional stability. Number 3, self-esteem. A secure relationship is about experiencing connection to someone else, not primarily about finding stability and security within yourself. So, another important goal to focus on before entering a new relationship is strengthening, rebuilding your self-esteem, sense of identity, and healthy autonomy. This is mostly about gaining awareness of and feeling your fundamental enoughness and allowing yourself to stop trying to create that by building an impressive facade. Number 4, clarity about what you want and need in a partner and relationship. This starts out with allowing yourself to have needs. You have them anyway, and if you neglect them, you'll get hurt. You don't have to try to erase the fact that you have needs to make someone fall in love with you or stay with you. A secure relationship, a secure partner's inner world, has space for your needs. Be honest with yourself about what you want and need, and practice putting that into words. That way, it'll be easier to communicate it when you start dating. If you pretend to be the low-maintenance, cool, detached person when you actually want a committed relationship, or if you pretend not to care about anything that's really important to you, you'll get yourself into trouble. Give yourself permission to be aware of your wants and needs, both in a relationship and a partner. Number 5, learnings. Reflect on what you've learned from previous relationships, about the kind of people you usually choose to be in a relationship, or the kind of people you allow to choose you as a partner, your own attachment style, and other psychological and behavioral patterns. What does this mean for the next kind of person you want to choose as a partner? And your own growth potential when it comes to your inner world and relationship behavior. Number 6, new inner and relationship behavior. Learn new helpful ways of self-leadership. Learn to take care of yourself and your emotions. Figure out what matters to you and helps you, and find space for that in your life. Learn about relationship skills and practice communicating in these ways with friends and family. You don't have to wait for a partner to be the kind, loving, and caring person you want to be once you're in a relationship again. You can start with that right now, which will help you feel better and get practice. I'd like to encourage you to approach these goals in a calm and steady pace. Take it step by step. You've got this. Two extremes that aren't helpful are avoiding the whole process or approaching it obsessively. I've talked about the negative consequences of avoiding at the beginning of the video. To those leaning towards the obsessive route, you don't have to do this perfectly. Good is enough. Traces and memories of your breakup will always remain with you, and you'll probably notice an unhelpful train of thought passing through your mind from time to time. That's just the way the human mind works. Can't completely get rid of negative or resentful flare-ups. What you can learn, though, is to recognize these thoughts for what they are, unhelpful, and not board the train every time it passes by. Till next time, take care, and remember, although these are serious and important issues to work on, you'll find it easier if you approach them with a healthy amount of lightness.